I'm here with my 2019 Alfa Romeo Giulia Q4 sedan, and today I just want to talk a little bit about how this car has been over 11 months and 26,300 miles. So I got this car November 13th, 2018 as a 2019 model year, and as of now it's been 11 months to the day, and this car has been overall a very solid vehicle. It drives very, very well. I have had a few issues with it. When I first got the car, the rear door handle actually did not operate from the outside, the rear driver's side door handle. So normally the door handle would just, open from the outside like that. But even with the car unlocked, it still would not open from the outside. It would open from the inside, no problem, but then it just wouldn't open from the outside, and the dealer diagnosed it as a factory defect where the cable from the latch to the outside door handle wasn't actually connected. So they reconnected that free of charge under warranty in the first 30 days I had it. So not a big issue there. I've also had a fuel evap canister valve replaced, the charcoal canister valve in the fuel system. That was contaminated with water, I believe. It actually excess water just gets inside the system, and the dealer has said it's been a known issue on Giulias and Stelvios. So that was contaminated and caused a check engine light, and I was stuck in normal mode in the car. So I brought that in, took about 5 days to have that fixed. They had to order a part, and it only took a few days from the local Mopar distribution center, so not a big issue there. That was covered under warranty. I think for the average owner it would have been around $190 to replace that out of warranty. Not a huge expense, but something that's more annoying and hurt the gas mileage and the engine performance while the check engine light was on. Recently, at about 23,000, 24,000 miles, the car actually, a check engine light came on the freeway, and it said service electronic throttle control. And I only had about 20 minutes to my destination after about 7 hours of driving, so I thought I could make it the extra 20 minutes to my destination. And about 5 minutes after the service electronic throttle light came on and the check engine light was on, the car actually lost power on the highway. I was going up a slight hill, cruise control set at like 71 miles an hour, I think. And it's, as I was going down up the hill, the speed kept decreasing even though the cruise control was on. It actually was dipping down to 70, 69, 68, 67, and then I just deactivated the cruise control and hit the gas to accelerate up the hill, and the car actually slowed down more as I pressed the gas harder. So I ended up just pulling off the side of the road on the freeway about 4:30 in the afternoon, early rush hour on a weekday, and pulled over really far, had my hazards on, turned off the engine, and then waited a few minutes, restarted the car, tried going in reverse a little bit, seemed to be fine, waited for a gap in traffic, and it finally accelerated normally, getting up to freeway speeds again, and I could go up to 65 miles an hour or so. So I took side roads the rest of the way. Then after about 3 ignition cycles, the check engine light went away, and I had never had the issue since. I brought this car in actually for some diagnostic work a few days ago, got it back. They couldn't root cause anything. They said that there was a fuel sender unit, like a P0002 code, I think it was, and it just means that there was a fuel sending unit issue where there was a discrepancy between what the engine control unit was asking the fuel pump for and what the fuel pump was actually delivering for fuel flow. So that could have been the cause of the check engine light and the service electronic throttle control. Not exactly sure, but they hooked up a fuel rail meter and drove around 50 miles to check to see if there were any anomalies in the fuel flow readings through the fuel lines. They could not find any problems whatsoever. It was running perfectly fine. They did an update on the radio, which gave me a larger backup camera, and just fixed a few bugs that were in the system that pretty much addressed the issues that I was having with the car at the time, with the infotainment system freezing once in a while. So that update was done. This car, the battery also died over Memorial Day weekend back in May. It was only for 48 hours I had the car off, and the dealership was not able to actually diagnose what the issue was. The battery was perfectly fine. It jump started when I called roadside assistance, and then there were some warning lights, but those went away after 2 ignition cycles. So never had an issue after that. It just, battery died for some reason over Memorial Day weekend. And then the USB port didn't work once, I think, in the front cup holder section, and the light was flashing on the USB port. And then after restarting the car, the USB port came back to life and worked just fine. So there's just a few electrical bugs, it seems, in this car that just have to be ironed out. And I think, you know, it's an all new platform, all new electrical system for this car, for, you know, for Alfa Romeo. So I think it's just taken a few years to get the system down. So again, this is a third model year, so 2019. I think for the Europe market, it's more like a fourth model year because there was late 2016s in Europe, I believe. So overall, I mean, it's a solid car. I've had a decent, you know, experience with it. It drives amazing. It's fast. It's fuel efficient. My last oil change over that whole interval of 8,900 miles, I averaged 32 miles per gallon between highway and city driving, and I would say I do about 70% city and 30% highway driving. So 32 miles per gallon is pretty darn good. I'd say in the city I'd average closer to 27. On the highway I'd average closer to 34 to 35 miles per gallon in the summertime, and more like 32 miles per gallon on the highway in the winter. Overall, it's been excellent. I haven't had you know, any major complaints with the driving experience, and it always turns heads. It always looks great, and even though the red on camera looks a little bright, it honestly isn't that bright in real life. This is the brightest red you can get currently on Alfa Romeo Giulias. This is just Rosso red. You can get red Rosso Competizione, and then another darker red color, another shade that's darker, that's metallic, because this is just a gloss finish. The other two shades available are metallic and they're darker, but this was a no-cost red, so I just went with that. And overall, I just really love the appearance, the driving experience, the fuel economy, the acceleration, the way it just responds to the driver. So I really enjoy that. In terms of the way it looks, you know, there's been the paint has gone through there's been a few chips on the paint, which is not out of the ordinary for how much driving I do. The car's got 26,300 miles, so there's a few chips here and there, a few chips on the windshield, but nothing major. The driver's seat has slight wear on the leather, but I get in and out of this car every day 2 or 3 times, so it's actually held up fairly well. So overall, other than, you know, on the surface of it, on the looks and the way it drives and the way that it responds to the driver, this car is so good. In terms of just the mechanical and electrical problems, there are a few that are here and there. It's hit or miss, and I've just found that restarting the car a few times and leaving it to sit overnight usually resolves about 3/4 the issues that I have with it. So, you know, overall, I'm really satisfied with it. And if you guys have any questions or comments related to this, just put a comment in the section below. Thank you for watching this 11-month, 26,300 mile review on the 2019 Alfa Romeo Giulia Q4, and I hope to see you guys next time. Have a good one. Bye.